Boy, look at all these violent people.
I know it's kind of disturbing to see that violence there. Just happened to notice the two cops by the front door, how they're chit-chatting with each other, not even paying any attention to these violent intruders.
No concern.
Yeah, they're not even looking at him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see anybody in the chat right now. Andrew said he'd stop by.
Yep.
Hey, there's Wild Rider. So, can you guys hear us out there? We're still getting ready to start. I don't know if they can hear us. Maybe we can only hear ourselves.
I don't know. Wild Rider, can you hear my voice or Dave's voice at all? Signify in the comments if you can.
Oh, they can hear us.
All right. Get work done, Dave.
Yeah, these people look real violent.
I know. Now there's another police officer with his hands in his pockets and his back to the crowd on the left-hand side of the picture.
Yeah, they're just an experiment. I'll shorten it up. I've never done this before.
Yeah, these cops really look very concerned about it. These guys even walking out in the hallway.
I think it was like a 3-minute intro. God. Okay, well, that, guys, was an experiment. Never did that before. Where actually before the show starts, it actually will play on the waiting screen. So it's a new one for me. So anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. Glad to see Wild Rider out there. I see Andrew popped in a little bit ago before we started. Some of the things that we're going to talk about are just everyday stuff. But as you see on the screen, there's some stuff going on in California that, well, there are a lot of people that know about it, but then there are some people that don't know what's going on. And that's a big movement to separate you might say, the blue from the red in California. But just saying that, there's a lot going on all across the United States, as you guys are aware of, that states have drastically changed in their political makeup. And let me show you this. I really like this here.
But the part of the story here is the shift to the right. No matter where you look, I'm showing you the deepest of blue states here for a second. California, look at what happened. It moved 12 points from 2020 to 2024. Illinois, it moved 9 points. Again, in the same 4-year time period. Let's go over to New York, New Jersey. New York, it moved 11 points. New Jersey, it moved 11 points. So what we've seen in parts all across this country, the deepest of blue states, shifts to the right. Still blue, but shift to the right. All right, I want to take you to a couple other states that we hadn't really talked about. But look at what's going on in Florida and in Ohio. Remember 20 years ago, several races ago, you had to win Ohio, you had to win Florida, Florida, right? Okay, Ohio. It was Republican +8 in 2020, +11 now, double digits. Florida, would you look at that? +3 in 2020, +13 in 2024. Ohio and Florida, deep red states. as we stand here tonight. All right, so what about those swing states, right? We talked about it all the time. I'm going to show you 3. This was the quote-unquote blue wall. This is what Donald Trump did in those states from 2020 until now. We'll go west to east here. Wisconsin, he went from 48.9 to 49.8. In Michigan, 47.9 to 49.7. Pennsylvania, 48.8, and he cracked 50. So slight movements, but the movements he needed across the Midwest to become the next president of the United States.
Yeah. All right. Remove that. Yeah. So, that's stuff like that's happening all over the United States, not just in blue states. So every single state experienced a shift to the red. So.
Yeah, it's been coming. It's going to continue to get stronger. The only thing that we have to worry about right now is how much more damage is going to be done in the next 30 days.
Yeah.
That's what we've got to worry about.
Yeah, because Biden has posted a few things on Twitter talking about how he promised billions of dollars, and by God, he's going to follow through. I wish there was a way they could block it, legally. I mean, I know you can drag your feet and so forth, but there's certain things that are kind of hard to stop at this point. So.
We all know what it's all about. We know that he's not doing it to be a nice guy. The billions of dollars going to be going to the Ukraine. He's going to get his cut from that, and so are several other people from that. That's why they're so adamant about putting it through now. But a whole bunch of things are going to change on the 20th of January, and it's all going to be for the good for us. I just can't wait. Yeah. I just can't wait.
Yeah, and I've been checking out that. Was it Blue Sky Blue social? Have you checked that out? Blue Sky, that's what it is. So I went over there to check it out, and you know what? It's amazing. It looks like they stole the Twitter format. I mean, it's exactly like Twitter, but without the little birds and all that. But obviously, it was a lower budget setup because, you can't go live. And you can't post anything bigger than 50 megabytes. And videos, any videos you post can't be longer than 1 minute. Of course, I know they're new, but it's just like, it's kind of a clunky system. But it looks like a bunch of the people who got fired at Twitter went over and started this. Or
that's probably what it is.
It's uncanny how it looks like. Here, let me just show you. Let me see if I can share that screen. I'll show you what it looks like. Gotta find it in the list here. That's Truth Social. There we go. Share. Okay. So where'd it go? There it is. Okay. Yeah, so if you look closely, the layout, let me go to that page so you can see mine. See this? All this is exactly like Twitter. Everything. All this, except it doesn't have the little bird, or used to have a bird, now it's an X. But so it is a bunch of used to be Twitter people on here, obviously. But one of the things I noticed about this site is it's in general, they're all kind of goody two shoe, not real confrontational. They don't like tough, rough people. They want to talk about rainbows and gender, that kind of stuff. But there's a bunch of them out there like me that go in and we just kind of throw some of our opinions in there, so that they know that they're not completely isolated in their own world over here. So I bring a lot of my X and my YouTube stuff over here and drop it in, and of course it gets me all sorts of commotion. Like if you see right here, I already got 19 notifications, and that was just from a few minutes ago. So people constantly barking back at me. So This is this
Well, at
guy.
least you're getting barked back at, not like me. I'm shadow banned until
Oh, well, that's
February
true.
February 6th. Then they unshadow ban me.
Yeah. No, you definitely can tell they do not like Trump people.
No.
Yeah. Well, anyway, get out of
You know,
there.
it's I understand this whole 9 yards about freedom of speech, and what part of it comes. There's a bitter part comes with that too. A lot of people don't like the curse words, but still, it's part of free speech. It's just we need to have a little common sense. But as far as talking about something bad about Biden or something bad about Trump, hey, everybody should have the right to speak their mind on it because it's their own opinion. But when you make a comment about somebody that's derogatory, that's bad, like they did with ABC News, they end up with a $15 million lawsuit, which they lose. So, in other words, defamation of character is definitely out there, but freedom of speech also is too.
Hang on, I got somebody's calling me. On show. Okay, there we go. my son-in-law, he's trying to get a hold of me. So,
Well,
they
tell them to get in on the comment board.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They're probably calling me from the store or something. Do you want anything? So, I don't know. So, yeah.
But no.
So, but there's a lot of good stuff. You see how they're like, they're attacking all the people that Trump has appointed, but some of them come off pretty strong in their positions, like Carrie Lake. Whoa, yeah. Like, let me show that clip. She
Transforming the fake news into real, honest press.
I like what she's saying here.
We're going to take a long, hard look at the FCC licenses that these people have. We give them those licenses and they lie to us, and we're tired of you guys lying to us. So we're looking forward to giving those FCC licenses to people who are going to be honest with the American people. We're tired of the fake news. The days of the fake news are numbered. We're going to get some real journalists once again. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to turning Arizona around and making it strong and safe and affordable again. How about you guys? Are you ready for that?
I'm ready for it. I got that off your website, so I don't know where you got that, but I saw that and I thought, I got to play that.
Let's put it this way. I do a lot of searching each day for some real oddball places because a lot of things are really not covered by Fox or covered by CNN or a lot of things just aren't covered, especially what Carrie Lakewood just finished here. I've found very little of that. And it's just like some of the other things too. For instance, like with these pardons, some of the people that have been pardoned, it's just they're showing up on local TV stations. I'm getting my information here, there, and everywhere. So it's just bits and pieces. So, it's how it's been working.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And you had one, let me go over to your place. It was talking about somebody being on the board of some children's thing.
Joe Biden in Guatemala.
Biden. Okay.
Yeah. Here's do you have that one?
Yeah, let me see.
So put that up there and show it.
Sat on the board of directors of an NGO that was just raided in Guatemala for trafficking children. 10 days later, Blinken flies down there and demands that the only person that can investigate this crime gets fired for corruption without any evidence or any proof to back up those accusations.
Kind of like what happened.
Let's say Melania Trump sat on a board called Save the Children in an Eastern Bloc country in Europe. And let's say Yugoslavia, the old Czech Republic, let's say Hungary. Hungary raids Save the Children and finds out they are trafficking children to America. and Melania Trump was on the board, do you think, let's be honest, do you think that we would have heard about this?
Oh, absolutely.
See,
Absolutely.
this is part of the problem. They're not telling us this. This should have been main headline news, and it's going to gain. It's going to gain a lot more momentum because you've got to keep in mind, and it's the deepest part about this is if you go back in time to when Biden was vice president, I can still see it vivid as day. He's sitting there joking with the guy, saying like, "Well, I told them if they don't get rid of so and so, which happened to have been the prosecutor, on Burisma, because they had no proof that he's not going to get the $1 billion." And that's exactly what's happened here. Here we go again, only it's with Jill. The entire Biden family's involved in this. And it's just these things are coming out one by one by one. And they can't hide it anymore. And I'm telling you, it's absolutely sickening. They've used America, they've used the people of America, our country, and everything else involved with it as their own personal piggy bank. And they don't care. They don't care because they've got their own little group of people that all seem to hover around each other. It's only maybe a dozen of them, but still just the same. They don't go to the restaurants like we do. There's a lot of things like that. But the point behind it is they don't care, and they never have cared. We just got to be careful for the next 30 days. How much more damage are they going to do?
Yep. Well, let's see. And this is the other one. I don't remember what this was. Oh, yeah. Actually, I like this one. This is
yes.
Now what's beginning here?
You'll see real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, just so much. It looks like it might be stuck.
Yeah. Well, it's playing, but it's not going anywhere. We must have a bad connection here, huh? I'll remove it and add it back.
Pop it back on again. Here we go.
That was happening earlier to that other.
It happened to the other one, didn't it?
Well, Ryder keeps trying to tell us that we're getting a lot of buffering.
Swing states all the time.
That works.
That works.
Well, I know how to fix it. Talk about something. Tell us about it, and I'll go find it again.
Okay, which one? Okay, I have several of them up there. I want to make sure which one what it was. Just give me a. Is this the one? Is this the one with? There were several of them up there we were talking about earlier.
Let me see if that's. I think it was the Carroll case.
Is this the one? Is this the one with ABC?
There it is. Carroll case.
There.
Donald Trump is taking on George Stephanopoulos. The former president has filed a defamation lawsuit against the ABC host because of this explosive interview with South Carolina Congresswoman Nancy Mace on his Sunday morning show.
You're shaming me for my political choices.
I'm asking you a question about why you endorse someone who's been found liable for rape.
Mace, who was raped when she was 16, pushed back when Stephanopoulos insisted that Trump had been found liable for rape in the E. Jean Carroll civil case.
This was a civil judgment over sexual abuse, not rape, by the way.
Trump was watching, and now he's suing Stephanopoulos. In a complaint filed Monday, his attorney wrote, the jury expressly found that Trump did not commit rape. Stephanopoulos falsely stated otherwise. So, does Trump have a case? Wayne Dennison is a prominent libel lawyer.
It's going to be a very difficult case for Donald Trump to win. There's no question that he's a public figure. Therefore, the defamation standard is the higher standard.
It's about really being able to push an argument saying, I already sued him.
But it's too close of a call. It's a waste of the court's time. It's going to get tossed because they won't get past summary judgment.
I am your retribution. I am your retribution.
Breaking news into CNN, ABC News anchor George Stephanopoulos has reached a settlement with President-elect Donald Trump in his defamation suit. The lawsuit stemming from an interview that Stephanopoulos did with Congresswoman Nancy Mace, where he asserted Trump was found liable for rape in a civil case. The network will pay out $16 million as part of that settlement.
Second.
The network will pay out
$16 million as part of that settlement
and have to issue an apology. Ryan, this is actually a lawsuit with ABC News, the network, and Stephanopoulos. What else can you tell us about this?
That's right. It's not every day that you hear about a major network, a TV network, paying millions of dollars and apologizing to the president-elect. So this is a headline with real ramifications.
We can't stand winning so much. Remember, I used to say that, right?
Yeah.
I used to say it, and that's what's happening. That's what's happening.
After paying in a post.
Hush up, boy.
All right, everybody, please click the like, please subscribe, and please remember that forever and forever, may God bless America, because it is the only country we have.
Who is that
Talk
guy?
to you later. I don't know. He looks familiar.
Yeah.
No, it's really true. I mean, they have so much hate in their hearts for Trump or for what America stands for that they flagrantly lie. I mean, to step in office, I mean, the guy is supposedly, these people get paid millions of dollars a year, and they should know better, but they're letting their hate go out in front of their faces. And, you know, it's like The View. Yeah. I'm still waiting for them to get to dump The View. I mean, this is crazy. They need to get rid of these programs. They need to get rid of some of these people. They need to get rid of them now, not sooner or later. Now is what they need to do, is because they're doing nothing but damage to the handful of brain damaged people that are watching them.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, let's see, add this. Okay, this is on Twitter. And I listened to this guy earlier. Let me get the sound turned on.
All
is that Hakeem Jeffries?
House Democratic incumbents.
Yeah.
Reelected.
Yeah, start over.
What happened in Michigan? Another heartland state. Alyssa Slotkin won the Senate seat and is on her way to the United States Senate. Are we on the run in the heartland?
Basically, he's kind of suggesting that something was wrong with the election. And so he becomes an election denier, because what he's doing is he's comparing that on the same ticket where a Democrat won their seats back, Trump won the presidency. And what I think is, number one, people vote their heart, or vote what they're conscious, or vote what they feel. So now, if they feel that that particular person is doing a good job and they don't have any problems with them, they vote them back in, you know. And I don't think that people actually vote right down ticket unless you're hard right or hard left. I think people in the middle or the moderate area, they vote according to who they decide that they want to run. So this saying that, oh, well, how can somebody that's running as a Democrat win when a Republican won the presidency on the same day?
Yeah.
Land state of Michigan. What happened in Nevada? Donald Trump wins the presidential election, but on the same day, same set of voters, Jackie Rosen is reelected to the United States Senate. Are we on the run in Nevada? And in Arizona, and by the way, in Nevada, all three House Democratic incumbents reelected. What happened in Michigan? Another heartland state.
Yeah, I just thought I would share that.
Well, part of the problem is too, you take okay, we talked about this before. It's plain and simple. We have an election. It's supposed to be a same-day election. Look at Florida. Florida came on the 6th. They ended on the 6th. They had a decisive winner for the Congress, for the Senate, and they had a presidential election. But yet, you take a look at what's happened in Arizona. Arizona, what did they do? Even after a month, they still hadn't finished it. And they still got closer and closer until finally they got enough votes to flip, to make sure that the person from the Democrat Party beat the Republican. And this was in other places too. It's going on in California. I don't believe that California is still done with some of these Senate and congressional seats. I still believe that they're still going on with this. This is crazy. They keep, well, we found a few more here. Oh, wait a minute. They brought some more into us. I mean, every day for a month? Come on. We're not stupid. But yet this is how they win. They're still cheating, but it's on a much smaller scale than it has been before. I still remember that truck driver, Jesse, from Islip, New York, that they found the UPS truck, or it was UPS, I believe.
Or I thought it was post office, but
yeah, post office. That's what it was, post office truck that they found. He claimed there was something like 60 or 65,000 ballots that were found in that truck. I mean, and then we still have the problems.
Then he gets torn apart. Yeah.
Right. He gets torn apart. There was another mailman in Erie, Pennsylvania. He had found a whole bunch of mail in a creek bed where they supposedly somebody had dropped it, and they found that almost every single one of the ballots that were there, the mail-in ballots, had Trump's name on it. Boy, did they get rid of him fast. But he still came to talk about things. I mean, anybody that spoke up about anything ended up, and you saw what happened, in Fulton County, Georgia. We know what happened, and yet those women, there was a sister, not sister, but aunt and niece or something like that. They ended up winning a big lawsuit, and they ended up not only cheating on the ballots, but yet, it was the one they pulled them out from underneath the tables. They ended up winning a lawsuit in Georgia. I mean, this is crazy, but this is all going to come back to haunt them, just like we saw with E.G. Carroll. That's not going to last. And of course, here comes the money back. All this is, everybody's going to finding out and figuring out things that this is not all what it seems to be. It's all been smoke and mirrors. It's all been a bunch of lies. And now it's coming forth. But the big time's coming up now, too. We need to talk about the word pardons. Some of this stuff is pretty horrific that's coming out. And it's just, we're not going to be too pleased about some of this, but still.
Yeah, well, we know it's coming. I mean, it's not
we
like
know it's coming.
Yeah, people can act shocked, but
Cash
people
Patel and the rest of them, they have certain
everybody's
laws,
been predicting it anyway. So.
But still, they're not going to get away with it. People like Mayorkas, people like Garland, they are not, and Ray, they're not going to be able. They're not going to walk away from this. They're not. They might not get life in prison, but they're definitely going to see. They're going to see behind prison bars, and they'll probably see treason marked on there. These guys, like I said, they're going to see what's going to happen to them. I mean, it's just, we're going to have to just sit back and wait. We have to accept exactly what Trump said. If there is a law broken, then they're going to go after him full steam ahead. If there's no law broken, fine. And that's even with them trying to stack the books against them. So we'll just have to be patient.
Yep. All right. Well, we're down to the last couple of minutes here. I want to thank everybody for watching. And I know a bunch of you will be watching it during the week because you didn't get to catch it live. And just before we get out of here, John, everybody that's tuned in now knows who I am. Why don't you tell us where you're at, what you're doing, and your channel and so forth.
Well, I'm John. I've also been known over the years, I repeat, as an American in exile, but I'm an American in Brazil. And that's where I'm at. I'm in Brazil because I can't afford to get back to the States. I mean, I've had my problems. My locking my horns started out with against Facebook. They got me, and then of course too when COVID and the whole 9 yards put me in a pretty bad place. I lost everything. I lost my house, lost everything, and I'm down here with wife and 4 stepchildren, and maybe graces of God, I'll be able to get back to Florida to get to an operation on my heart and stuff like that, and eventually maybe even get a job. But I'm looking. I'm like I said, it's very difficult when you don't have the access to telephones and what have you, or even a car. I mean, gone from living a good life after I retired to what I'm living now. It's just not fun. Let me tell you, folks. But my channel is American with capital A, American. Right next to it is capital I for Ind, and then Brazil with a capital B. I believe it's 458. So that would be my channel. Much appreciate you guys stopping by, because I am shadow banned again. They've taken 3 of my channels, and they'd like to take another one, but it's just point blank that they want to. I'm not going away. Going anywhere.
You always find stuff they don't want you to talk about. Yeah,
they figure a way.
And you're living in a country that is super censored. I mean,
yeah, I can't get Rumble's not permitted here. They're getting. I mean, literally, I'm lucky that I'm still able to use some of the channels that we have left right here.
Right,
I mean, YouTube. If you believe it or not, I get a lot of not violations, but warnings on my videos saying that certain countries aren't accepting me. When I look to see what countries they are, they're Russia, Iran, China, literally on my side.
And I also heard that now Brazil is fining you, and with threat of maybe going to jail if you use a VPN, which that's kind of new, because people would use a VPN to get around the censorship.
This is still Lula. He's the president. He's got 1 more year left, and like I said, you keep out of the government's the range of the government's long arms here. You have no problems. And I happen to be lucky to be in a very small village type ordeal in the middle of the mountains.
Oh, they don't want to mess with you.
Yeah, they don't mess with us here. The police here are very different than they are elsewhere. They don't pull you over for anything. They know who I am. They know I'm the American. A lot of them, I speak to a lot of them. Sometimes they sit down and eat lunch with my wife and myself. It's just, it's a different world. But if you get on their shit list, you better believe it, you're going away. And they don't do things like you do in America.
Yeah. Well, we better get out of here. We've exhausted our time. We're gone a couple minutes over, but that's okay. Who's watching, right? All right, guys. See you next week. Same time, same channel.
Peace, people.
All right.